everybody, how's it going? Today, I'm happy to present this very special and quite rare treat with only 276 models built. Here we have the 2001 Qvale Mangusta. And this is going to be a full, in-depth tour of the Mangusta. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, go over the history of the development of the vehicle, and show you a bunch of the features on the interior as well as exterior. And today, I'm at Hendrick BMW in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so, without further ado, let's get started up, let it run. It's a bright yellow exterior with full black leather interior. It's only got 8,882 miles on it. Beautiful. It's got a heavily side-bolstered perforated leather-wrapped steering wheel with tight steering, leather-stitched airbag cover. And out of the 276 Mangustas that were produced between 2000 and 2001, only 55 are in the automatic transmission with an aluminum shifter. And let's go ahead and cut on the headlights, fog lights, as well as the hazards. Power windows. And let's go and check out the exterior, shall we? It's got a fully galvanized box steel frame for increased structural rigidity and driving dynamics, as well as full composite body panels. Projector headlamps. Striking styling details, LED turn signal indicators, side vents for the engine, as well as full alloy wheels with 12-inch vented disc brakes and 4-piston Brembo brake calipers. The first generation Mangusta originally started in the mid-1960s under the Di Tommaso nameplate, until the Pantera was later introduced in the early 70s. Dual calipers along the rear disc. The powertrain, as well as some of the ancillary bits inside, are shared with Ford, and I'll go over that in just a little bit. But it also is reminiscent to the Mangusta of earlier generation, as well as the Pantera using the Ford 351 Cleveland V8. As far as tying back with some of the car's historical performance roots, in 1996, Di Tommaso revised the Mangusta nameplate and struck up an agreement with the Qvale Group of San Francisco, which is a previous importer of the original Mangusta, to begin once again producing the Mangusta in its second generation. Quad chrome exhaust tips, which was then designed and produced in Modena, Italy, by Marcello Gandini, who is the designer of the Lamborghini Countach as well as Diablo. Also, base price for the Mangusta was around $80,000 to $82,000. As far as the Mangusta's trunk space, it is quite limited, but remember that this is a smaller sports car with a stowable Targa roof. Small well down below, fire extinguisher. It's also illuminated. And there's two different ways to configure the top. If you fold the visors down and undo these clamps on each side, and then it just slides on easily into the trunk along some polished aluminum guides. And with the roof removed, it transforms into a Targa configuration. And like I said, this is the first of two ways to configure the top. And if you look to the left of the clock, it's got a power retractable mechanism for the rest of the roof in the back to fold down behind the rear seat. Of course, if you have the handbrake on, thus yielding a proper roadster. And I'm going to pop the hood. As I mentioned with this vehicle's history of Ford performance, this one comes with Ford's 4.6 liter 4-valve V8, dual overhead cam. It's the same V8 found in the Mustang SVT Cobra. It's a cast aluminum block and heads with iron cylinder liners, fully counterweighted Ford's crankshaft, putting out around 320 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 314 foot-pounds of torque at 4,800 RPM. Has a top speed of around 150 to 155 miles an hour and a 0 to 60 time of around 5.5 seconds. Quarter mile in about 14.3 seconds at 101 miles an hour, and the car weighs around 3,200 pounds. Also, this vehicle shares a couple attributes with the Ford Mustang. You'll see a couple of the ancillary interior bits. They're easily recognizable. Every panel in the vehicle is covered in padded stitched leather. Very rich, luxurious taste. Power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. You see some of your stitching detail here as well. Polished aluminum door sills, as well as heavily bolstered, fully leather bucket seats. The driver's side is power sliding, tilting, manual recline with power lumbar. Plush carpeting, as well as a tilt steering wheel. It's your leather stitched dash, running across the length of the vehicle. And let's go and see how she sounds. Easily recognizable gauge cluster from the Mustang. Gotta love the sound of that V8. And we'll set the top back up. Now we're good to go. Let's go ahead and shut her up. As well as Ford's easy-to-use air conditioning system. Simple analog controls. Front defrost. Analog clock. Your rear defrost. as well as a brushed aluminum inserted center console. You also have the same trim around the gauges, with the Qvale logo embedded in the middle. It's also got a full Nakamichi sound system, the 6-disc in-dash CD changer,
find my face again. Buried beneath this house, my spirit screams and dies again. Out back a monster wears a cloak of Persian leather.
Reading lamps,
Behind the TV screen.
overdrive, traction control, lighter, power outlet, stitched center console with power outlet, as well as chain storage, your remote for your radio, cup holders. You had some more details of the leather stitching. I love the interior design. It's got quite a high rear end, but it tapers off, it kind of meets into the door and comes back up for the hood. Quite unique. And this is the factory system that comes with the vehicle. Disc selection, preset station, equalizer controls, alrighty. Go ahead and shut her down. We'll check out the rest of the vehicle. This car is considered a 2+2 configuration, but honestly, I'm pretty sure nobody's ever going to be able to fit in that back seat. Basically, just used as a parcel shelf for storage. Also, everything wrapped in stitched leather. Pop the fuel cap. Aluminum fuel cap. Power windows and power locks on this door. Side storage pocket for the door. Fully manual passenger seat with power lumbar. Good sized glove box with your trunk and fuel cap release. Also padded. Fantastic and unique automobile. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth tour on the very rare 2001 Qvale Mangusta. Be sure to stay tuned next time. There's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.